the sailors all over here today and all over the world for their sacrifices and service for our country. Let's give them a round of applause. I've always been proud to represent baseball because of the special place our game holds in American culture. It's a privilege to be your national pastime, and it's also a responsibility. This event is deeply humbling because courageous people like you earn the freedom for folks like me to live out our dreams. Just like it always has, baseball still brings us together in our society. We need that sense of togetherness more now than ever before. Baseball is proud of all its connections to the fabric of our country. I'll share a bit of history. During World War I, the Star-Spangled Banner became a tradition at the 1918 World Series. And no, I was not there for that. Long before it was our national anthem. And then FDR's green light letter in 1942 said that baseball should keep going amid World War II for America's morale. Of course, a highlight of my career was 2001 World Series, when the Yankees felt, and I remember telling my players that NY on the cap represents more than the New York Yankees. It represented the city of New York, which just, underwent terrible tragedy. And President Bush's first pitch, Jeter warmed him up, by the way, and told the president that, where are you going to throw this first pitch from? He says, you better get on top of the mound, because if you don't throw it from on top of the mound, these fans are going to boo you. So that was the most pressure up to that point that the president's been under. But he did throw a strike, and then his thumbs up for our wounded city is a memory of a lifetime for me. Today is a celebration of the 70 Hall of Famers who stepped away from playing careers to serve their country during wartime. As we commission the USS Cooperstown today, I'm thinking about my family and some of my dear friends. My brother Rocco, who was 13 years old when I was born, he dreamt of playing baseball, but joined the Navy and served toward the end of World War II. Yogi Berra. Yogi is American treasure like no other. He's Yankee royalty, forever a champion alongside both DiMaggio and Mantle. He's also one of the most quoted Americans in history. We all know that. Yogiisms. But this is about Yogi's patriotism. But let's not forget, this man was a hero. He was a gunner's mate in Normandy, and Yogi earned the Purple Heart and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And his family is here today, as was pointed out by Jane. Stan the Man Musial, who I came to know and love. Stan the Man was the MVP in 1943 and 1946. And guess what he did in between? He enlisted in the Navy and missed all of 1945. He credited his power stroke, this I sort of questioned. He credited his power stroke to his trying to entertain fellow servicemen in Maryland. But, I asked Stan Musial one time, John, I said, Stan, give me some ideas on hitting, and, what's your approach? He said, well, if they pitch the ball away, hit a line drive to left field. If they pitch the ball in, I hit a line drive to right field. It wasn't that easy. And when I was, and Stan also served at Pearl Harbor. He played in games that were meant to get people's minds off the war, and crowds of 10,000 people would show up to watch. Eddie Matthews. When I reached the major leagues with the Milwaukee Braves, I was lucky that Eddie was my teammate. When I was just finding my way, I looked up to a World War II Navy veteran. There are so many others, and a lot of the names were mentioned here today. Phil Rizzuto, Larry Doby, Buck O'Neill, Chief Petty Officer Bob Feller. The legacy of that generation will live on through the USS Cooperstown and all the sailors who will be here in the years to come. That includes Commanding Officer Daxton Moore and former Commander Evan Wright, who I hear is a great Yankee fan. He's really a Red Sox fan. But I'm convinced that he'll get over that. As a manager, I valued the players who put the good of the team above the good of themselves. And that's how we succeeded. Our country is at its best when it's a team. We have to run out every ground ball and make sure we get 27 outs. We have to support one another, especially when times are tough. And that's exactly what our greatest generation was all about. My hope is that when everyone looks at the USS Cooperstown, they think about great ball players who represented something much bigger. American courage, sacrifice, and togetherness. Americans should be forever grateful for the teamwork that made this country a beacon of hope for the world. We have to earn that honor every day. I know that we will on the USS Cooperstown. So on behalf of the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, my dear friend and fellow Hall of Famer Johnny Bench, the baseball fans from Cooperstown to New York City and all across our great nation, I thank you again for this opportunity to share this special day with you. And may God bless our troops and all who serve on the USS Cooperstown.